I've watched a few different videos on the Day of an Artist, and I thought I'd share mine. It's not particularly glamorous. It's based around children and dogs. I get up quite early. The dogs wake me up quite early, and they tend to have their breakfast, and then I walk them. I'm really, really lucky to live in the most beautiful area of North Yorkshire, so it's quite rural. Lovely to get out first thing. And then I tend to start with a cup of tea. Always have to have a cup of tea. I cannot live without a cup of tea. I drink Earl Grey and I drink it black. This is showing me having a rather healthy breakfast, but it's not always that healthy, I have to admit. And then I have my breakfast. I might watch a bit of telly. I might watch a series that I'm into. And then it just tends to be all about the admin. So I spend probably the first half of my day doing admin. I tend to set videos going, uploading overnight, so that when I come down in the morning, I can just pop them into Patreon if I need to do. I'll then just be answering people's messages on Instagram, emails, YouTube, Facebook. I do tend to have quite a lot of messages, and I do like to answer everybody. And it's not just messages that people have sent me. There might be messages I've posted an image or something, and people are asking me questions. So a lot of my day is spent answering people's questions and helping people. And I'll even go so far as, if somebody's really struggling with something, we'll set up a call with them. They don't have to pay me or anything like that. I'll set up a call and help them, if they need it. Quite a bit of my time, especially at the end of a month, is spent editing my videos. So I use a software called Camtasia. Bring my recording files into Camtasia, and I've kind of set up a system that works quite well, actually. When I'm recording, every time there's a sound, I'll stop recording and then I'll start again, so that I know I only need to edit the beginning and the end of the video file, so I don't have to listen to the whole video. So I just sort of I'll do like sound checks halfway through the little recording files, and make sure that everything's okay. And then I might do a little bit of, like, just tweaked the image on there just to make sure it's looking the right colour. So I spend a lot of my time doing the editing side of stuff, which does take a long time, and then obviously have to save it and upload it to Instagram. And then just recently, I've been doing quite a lot of Zoom calls. So I have a weekly Zoom workshop with a group of my patrons where we're currently drawing a pine marten. And that goes on for a couple of hours, which is just absolutely brilliant. I do free Zoom workshops. I do Zooms with people who want help. I tend to spend I'd say probably about 3 hours a day coaching other artists in one way or another, which is it's part of my job that I absolutely adore. And then, of course, my drawing. So I tend to draw 2 full tutorials, or 1 full tutorial and 1 focus tutorial every month. I might do some other bits and pieces as well, but the tutorials are quite important because they obviously go up on my Patreon, and I have to sit and I have to record those. So if something takes me 40 hours to create, then that's 48 hours worth of recording, 48 hours worth of live voiceover. So I don't do any voiceover afterwards. I do it as I'm drawing, and I think that's quite good, really, for people who are learning, because they get to hear all my thoughts and everything. And then of course I have my commission pieces as well. So my commission pieces, I do probably around 2 or 3, maybe 4 commissions a month now. Whereas when I was full time, I would be doing sort of like between 8 and 9 commissions a month. But now I've reduced it because of the amount of time that I need to do for my tutorials. So I tend to kind of record quite a bit. And then just recently as well, with all of the virus lockdown and all of that crazy stuff, I'm also doing quite a lot of live streaming. The live streaming for me is, I think it's really, really important for me. It means that I can well, I can be chatting away to people, even though I can't hear what they're saying. They can ask me questions and everything, but it seems to be a very, very important part of what I do now, for my kind of well-being, as well as anything else. Drawing is something that is incredibly important for me. I have to draw every day. Now, the unfortunate thing about becoming a full-time artist is that you kind of think you're going to be drawing all of the time, and it's going to be, oh, it's brilliant, I'll just go into my studio and draw. And it doesn't work like that, sadly. So half of my day, which is probably about 5 hours, is admin. Now, I'm very good at delegation. I'm extremely good at delegation. Having been a senior manager in quite a large organisation and having done sort of like leadership and development, delegation is very, very important to me, and I think is key to my sanity. So I have delegated things that I'm not very good at. So I have an accountant. My accountant does everything. She does all of my bookkeeping. She does everything. She has my bank account, my PayPal. Everything is connected. And that has meant that I've got a huge amount of time now back to myself. It's something that I'm really not very good at. So delegating it to somebody who is good at it means that I don't have the stress of having to kind of keep up with, everything that I spend, all that type of thing. So that's been a really positive thing, I think, for me to be able to do that. The other thing that I have delegated is my website. So I don't now do any of the updates to my website. I have delegated that to a company who is dedicated to doing websites. And yes, it costs me money at the end of the month, but it's something that I have budgeted for. It's something that now, obviously, I'm earning a little bit more due to my Patreon, that I can give that away so that I've got more time to be able to do the things that I am good at and that I really like. I think it's quite difficult when you own your own business and you're doing your own thing. I think for a lot of people, it's very difficult to delegate. It's very difficult not to want to keep control of everything. And what happens is that if you try to do absolutely everything, it can get a little bit too much, and you can end up doing all of the stuff that you hate doing, because I find that anything that I hate doing takes me about twice as long. So if I get rid of stuff that I'm not very good at doing, it frees me up. It gives me so much more time to be able to do the things that I love doing, which is drawing, which is coaching people, which is creating the videos, which is building my business, and and I think the delegation part for me has been quite an eye-opener, actually. And I do think that a lot of artists find it difficult, or a lot of any small business owners find it very, very difficult to delegate their stuff, because you like to keep control, and I understand that, but I'm a bit of a delegation queen, really. So I would say that that's a big part of what is allowing me to do what I like to do. If I could, I would take on a PA and I would get them to do all of my admin. So I would get them to be, sorting out all of my my emails. And actually, I do have a very, very good friend who she is now dealing with all of my workshops. So when we're organising workshops, when we're thinking about retreats, all of that type of thing, the fabulous Vicky Evans she does all of the admin for my workshops, which again I'm useless at. Anybody will know that you send me an email and I will reply to you, but I forget stuff. I'm so forgetful, and I think it's because I just find admin I'm not very good at it. So delegating it, that's a good thing. So drawing is incredibly important to me. I need to draw every day to be able to keep sane. I think it is something that I find particularly mindful. I absolutely love drawing. So I tend to start drawing on a day that's got a huge amount of admin, or I'm gone to the framers or something like that. I tend to maybe start drawing around 7:00 at night. So I'll usually finish doing my admin around sort of midday-ish. Take the dogs out for another walk. If I've got to go pick children up from school, that's what I need to do. Make tea, all of that stuff, that mummy stuff. And of course, I'm a single mum, so everything's it's just up to me. And then I start drawing sort of after tea around 7ish, and I will draw probably until around midnight, 1 o'clock. If I could, I would start drawing at 9 o'clock, and then I would finish drawing at midnight. I would draw all day if I could. So drawing is incredibly important to me. And as I'm drawing, I get really excited about stuff. I'll do something and I'll be like, oh gosh, this is exciting. And that's when I start to, pop stuff up onto Instagram or, something like that. I don't have a schedule for my social media at all. I don't tend to look at insights or anything like that. I'll just be drawing and I'll think, oh, somebody might find this interesting, so I'll take a video or take a photo and upload it. So I tend to not have any particular agenda really for my social media. It'll just be, as and when. It might be that I get to midnight, finish drawing, take a photo, upload it to Instagram, and then, I don't know, I'll wake up at 6:30 in the morning and I might spend 20 minutes in bed just going through and liking messages or answering questions or something like that. So my day is very, very full of helping other artists. So I do a huge amount of coaching. Patreon keeps me incredibly busy. I'm very hands-on with Patreon. I'm always adding different things. I'm always holding a quick Zoom session here, a quick Zoom session there, a quick live stream, a quick little video of something, or I've got my Facebook group, which is very, very active. So always kind of answering people's questions on there, or so it's my day is really taken up with a huge amount of helping, and then not as much drawing as I'd like. But that's how it is. If you start to sort of be teaching people and all of that type of thing, you are going to get a lot of people wanting help, and that's what I do. I help people. I'll always help people. Some people pay, some people don't. I'll help whoever wants help. So very busy day. And I always try and slot more in than what I've got time for. So if I need to do extra, I'll either get up earlier or I'll work later on into the night. I'm lucky that I work from home. I'm lucky that my children are amazing. They're all, I'm saying they're children, they're teenagers, but they are amazing. My dogs tend to be quite well behaved as well. Although if you listen to my videos, you will hear them snoring and doing all sorts of different things. But I'm incredibly lucky to have found a job that I absolutely adore, and that I am completely surrounded by the most wonderful people in the artists that are surrounding me. And I'm just a very, very lucky person.